Hey guys, I'm here with another 5 Minute Murder. Sorry I didn't get this one out on Friday, so you're going to get two this week. I was not feeling very well on Friday, and then we had to leave and head to Philadelphia and go out there to do World Oddities Expo, which was a great show this weekend. Had a good time out there. Got to go back to my hometown, and I got to go get a cheesesteak, and I got to go eat Serpies, and the cold pizza. Oh, so good. And I got a sub from Casapula's, and kind of got to drive around my hometown and hang out there. So it was good. It was a good show. I got to go up to Lancaster to go see a buddy of mine, Daryl Marston, who is one of the ghost hunters. And so he is doing a new thing up there called My Haunted Manor, and it's a house there in the little town of Columbia, PA. And in that town, it was the very first spot for the Underground Railroad, right? And it just so happens that that house there is was the company that owned the bridge and did all the work on the bridge. And during the Civil War, they were the ones that made the decision to burn down the bridge so that the Confederates couldn't come across and go directly to Harrisburg and march on Harrisburg. So they are directly responsible for the Confederate Army converging on Gettysburg, and the Battle of Gettysburg happening, which we all know is the final turning point in the war, and where the Confederates were routed, and the Union ends up winning the war not too long after that. So July 1st to July 3rd, 1863, I believe that's correct. So anyway, yeah, it's an incredible location. They are going to be doing 24-hour ghost hunting there. So they will have cameras and stuff placed around the place, and you'll be able to log on online once they go live, and you'll be able to see any time of the day if there's any activity there. You'll also be able to go there and stay and do your own investigation, and you will be the show. So it is incredible what they're doing there. Daryl is doing such an incredible job. I got to be there for the grand opening and the ribbon cutting, which was super cool. And so really looking forward to going back there and checking it out and doing an overnight investigation myself. So Daryl, look out for it, brother. I'm going to be coming that way. So we're going to do 5 Minute Murder now that I've talked for 3 minutes already. Sorry, guys. This one's going to be a long one, I guess. All right, let me pull out a card here. All right. And today we got old Arthur Shawcross, the Genesee River Killer. So Arthur Shawcross was born on June 6, 1945. He died on November 10th, 2008. He was an American serial killer active in Rochester, New York. His first known murders were in 1972 when he killed a young boy and a girl in his hometown of Watertown, New York. Under the terms of a plea bargain, he was allowed to plead guilty to one charge of manslaughter, for which he served 14 years of a 25-year sentence. He killed most of his victims in 1988 and 89 after being paroled early, which led to criticism of the justice system. He died in Albany, New York in 2008 while serving a prison sentence of 250 years for his crimes. So he was convicted of 10 murders, and it's alleged that he killed at least 11, possibly more than that. It's a crazy story because, he's another one. He had children, but old Shawcross used to drive around in this car, and he would pick up prostitutes mainly, and he would strangle them, he would kill them, and he would dump their bodies, some of them in the Genesee River or close to the Genesee River there in New York. And so, he's that guy. If you ever watch that show, I forget which movie it is. Anyway, it's a movie about split personalities, and I'm trying to think what his name is that stars in that movie. Oh goodness, I think I have it. But anyway, he is at first you believe it's him and that he's gone to this hotel and all these things are happening to him and he can't figure out why. I think it's John Cusack, I think, is the one that plays it. But anyway, one of the personalities is a larger guy and his eyes go back and forth, right? And I don't know why that guy always reminds me of Arthur Shawcross, because later on in his life, Arthur is kind of like that creepy big dude, and his eyes kind of are crazy, and the way that he talks when he does his interviews. And if you go back and you watch some of his interviews, he's another one. He talks about his crimes. He talks about all the things that he did. And so you can go and watch interviews with Arthur Shawcross. And, it's interesting because I think there's somebody who has his car. The actual car that he did most of his murders in is sitting in somebody's garage right now. And it is falling apart, of course, but it's sitting there in the garage and they have it. I know his daughter talked to him before he died and everything, and they had a little bit of a relationship and tried to mend things during towards the end of his life. But of course, Arthur Shawcross is gone now. He was serving 250 years for all of his crimes. But it is a wild, wild story. Shawcross is just one of those guys. He was kind of a big oaf and very domineering guy. And, it's always interesting to see, women that end up getting into a car with somebody like that. Because I can't imagine that Shawcross was not the creepy dude, right? He does not look like somebody you would be safe around, right? And he's not a smooth talker. When you listen to him in his interviews and stuff, he doesn't sound like the guy that I'd be like, oh yeah, let me get into the car with that guy, right? So it's fascinating to see, the psychology and the way that he did it. And he's kind of a down home kind of country guy. So maybe that in that certain circumstance worked for him. But of course, a lot of those women, he was paying for their company. Well, at least he was saying that he was going to pay for their company, right? So they may have gotten in the car because they thought that they were getting paid, and then he did what he did, right? So, it's always just interesting, how these killers go about doing their thing. And, sex work is a very dangerous job, whether it's the drugs that are rampant in that, or if it is the clientele or like the pimps and stuff like that make it very, very dangerous if you're doing it on the street. Now, of course, in Vegas, where it's regulated and it's very different than that, it's a little safer, but it's a lifestyle that is very difficult, and it is very challenging to be a part of that for any length of time. Not that it is not a, again, no kink shame for me. And so, not that it's not a viable way to go and make money. People have been doing it. It is the world's oldest profession, but it is a very dangerous profession, right? It's a very dangerous thing to go out there and to be around some of these people that you don't know why they need that kind of service, right? You don't know how they're scheming, because what you do see is throughout the years, that is one of the highest targeted populations, right? Sex workers are targeted a lot by men because, a lot of people aren't looking for them. They'll disappear quickly or disappear easily, right? Because they're not in the normal path of society. So, it's easy prey for them a lot of times. These people that are, predators, they find easy prey there. So it's difficult. Then you have people like Eileen Wuornos who says, fuck no, I'm not going to let that happen, and then brings a gun with her and blows men away. So, there's always those cases too. So, it's crazy. Just life is a very, very strange thing when you're looking at all of these different cases and the psychology that goes into it. A lot of these, and it's interesting because sometimes It's because they have problems, right? They have problems with women. We always hear about the Madonna, complex, right? Where you're either the um, the Mother Mary, or you're the saint, or you're the whore, right? The Madonna whore complex is what it's called. So you hear about that, and a lot of these men suffer from that, right? They have this disrespect and this disregard for women, and so they go and they pick them up and then dispose of them, and it's really, really sad that that happens. uh, you know there's a million reasons for that. But I notice in my own life that generations before me have a very, very different relationship when it comes to men and women, and it is not okay. So I am, glad that our society is trending more towards a place where we value women and we lift them up and we put them in a better position. So I think it's great that our society is moving more towards that. But it's not fixed yet, right? Women still don't get the wages that men do. And so, it is still not all right. And women are still treated very, very badly sometimes by men, whether it's catcalls or whatever, or making them feel very uncomfortable wherever they go. Nobody should have to be used to that. And then you have people like this that prey on women, and it's a very scary thing. So women often have the right to feel afraid, and to feel you know upset by the men that are around them, because there are a lot of predators still. And so I hope that it continues to trend differently, and we continue to move forward, and we can respect all the people around us. Men, women, children, black, white, Hispanic, doesn't matter, right? We just respect people, because people are what matters. And hopefully those people are alive, right? Because you have people like Jeffrey Dahmer, of course, that seem to respect the dead a lot more than the living. So we don't want those kind of people. So anyway, there you go, another 5-minute murder. Old Arthur Shawcross, killed at least 10, maybe more, maybe many more. The Genesee River Killer. I will see you guys next time. Actually, I'll see you this Friday, and we're going to do another episode for you. So I will see you soon. Check out Route 666. I just posted a bunch of new ones there. While I was in Philadelphia, I stopped at Angela Bruno's house. I also stopped at Gary Heidnick's house. And I went to Devil's Den in Gettysburg, Pennsylvania. So check those out. You'll get the scoop on those, and I will talk to you all soon.
The number you have dialed is not available at present. Please leave your message after the beep.
Yeah, trendsetter, whoa, league of my